And the links, of course, will be in the description for all the socials. Instagram for @the_spot2talk, Twitter @the_spot podcast, YouTube @the_spot2talk, and SoundCloud the spot to talk, as well as TikTok the spot to talk. Every time I said the spot to talk, it is number 2, not the word 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of course, we are back for the Spot podcast. And of course, today we're going to be discussing BMF Discussion Season 3, Episode 8. I'm one of your hosts, Yeezy Yon.
And this is Nat Mighty Young coming at y'all with this special feed. You feel me?
Yes, sir. And this episode, we're nearing the end.
Man, there's a lot of politics in this episode, huh?
No, and it's crazy, like, because I started BMF last month. You know, I think it was honestly, was it start of March or no, February? It had to be February because it was before Season 3 started. It was at least 2 weeks before Season 3. And I've just been locked in.
I think it was March 1st, I believe, right?
That I started?
Yeah, BMF started March 1st, I believe.
Right, Season 3, but I was caught up by then, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, it started, so, you know, just a month after Power, you know, finished. I think about a week after finishing all Power, you know, I was like, let me get into BMF, you know, the 50 Cent executive produced. And yeah, no, like I said, BMF's just been a banger after banger episode in this season so far, in my opinion, compared to the previous 2 seasons.
No, definitely. Season 3 starting to amp up with these interesting characters, and then with Meech and Terry, like the dynamics of city to city. I like how like they're showing the scope of how each one is controlling like their own destiny, you know?
Exactly. Meech and Terry kind of on their own thing, and that's what we're going to get into right now. Basically, Meech is working with Claude, and not working with directly, but I don't want to say scheming because it sounds evil, but they're scheming to kind of have Claude convince Remy to kind of, work with Meech, not work for, but work with Meech, kind of have that ally partnership. But Remy's too like hard-headed and stubborn, and Meech is like, well, you're reasonable, Claude. Go make him listen.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like Remy's too stuck in his ways, and he's too stubborn about the ongoing war he has with MKs and the ongoing beef that he has with Meech. It's kind of clouding his judgment a little bit. So
it's vengeance. Yeah. Vengeance is clouding his judgment right now.
Yeah, and it sucks because Remy, the way he started off was like he had like a better, like his message was more clear. Like it was, you know, he was doing it for the kids and all that. But once that incident happened, I believe was the war in episode 5 with the MKs and stuff at Techwood.
Yeah,
like after that episode, it's like he's turning like dark and dark more and more every episode.
Slowly but surely, and it's gonna I think Remy's team, we'll get to that near the end of this, but Remy's team is definitely gonna go against Remy himself. But basically, next kind of scene of focus is Terry and Vince at the restaurant. This is something I kind of wanted last episode, you know, when they kind of, because it's Marquisha's, you know, lovers, I guess. And Terry just kind of straight up lets Vince kind of tries to put Terry in his place and is like, yo, you know, you're not ready for a mature woman like Marquisha. And Terry's like, well, I am, you know, he says it more cleverly in the sense that, like, he talks about small titties and upgrading to bigger titties, which are Marquisha. And, you know, he's ready for him. And he's telling Vince to back off, essentially.
Yeah, no, I seen that. I was like,
power
wow.
Play.
Yeah, no, Vince, man, I just don't like how Marquisha is just playing, you know, like just like talking to, like, you know, just like messing with the minds of two men, you know, especially with two men that have an ego, like those guys, you know, that are gonna bump their chest out every chance they get.
No, it's to impress a woman, and that's the typical mentality. I was gonna say mentality, but, you know, play on words. But that's the men mentality kind of thing of, like, you know, being the alpha male, showing who's the top dog.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's all they care about. It's always just ego, too much ego.
Yeah, and speaking of dogs, I also say top dogs, but we got the Red Dogs out in Atlanta that are causing more of a ruckus. Essentially just a problem. Meech has to kind of find a workaround that because right now it's basically with the Olympics kind of coming around. I believe that's a big focus in Atlanta. The Red Dogs, not the FBI, well, I guess the Feds, FBI, GBI, whoever you want to say, they're all basically kind of going to crack down. And, this is something that, like, is just an ongoing issue. And, Meech has been very tactful in how he's, handling these situations, so forth. But Claude kind of brings up this, I don't think we met him, but Sharp, basically. He's the
Yeah,
guy who can make things happen, per se.
yeah. No, that's the guy he was talking about. That could definitely, that knows a thing or two about the game that Meech definitely needs to get tapped into. Hopefully, we see who that is very soon. That way, that could just start off that expansion. They need to just build new connections, even though they have a lot of connections already. They're starting to, like, we see that city to city that they're building relationships, but you could always use more relationships. You could always use more connections.
What about Shannon Sharp playing Sharp?
I don't know if they might use the younger dude. I feel like
It'd be kind of funny just for a personal take. Haha, Shannon
that would
Sharp
be hella
playing
funny if
Sharp.
Shannon Sharp was in BMF. That would be interesting though. That'd be
That
funny.
would be crazy, actually. Not gonna lie. Take him in a
That'd be
serious role.
It would be so random though. I know we would be so confused. It would throw us off.
It's like getting, or what's his name? Is it his name Orlando Brown from
Bro,
That's a Raven?
bro, do you know how random that would be?
Oh my god! If Orlando Brown played like a semi-main character in BF,
Bro, that would be so random. Like it would be like, what the hell is he doing here?
I guess you could say that'd be so Raven.
You got jokes, my friend.
Moving on though, essentially, yeah, we're talking about, not really talking into it, but Brian and Jin. I mean, Brian's obviously pissed off and blaming everything. Jin's kind of letting him know, like, hey, this is the undercover op I'm planning with Henrietta. Can you help me scheme it? Kind of give Brian something to do because he wants to take down Henrietta once and for all. And yeah, I mean, that's Brian's side quest going forward. And I mean, Luanda is planning her own future, basically, because she thinks Terry doesn't really give a shit about her, which, with all due respect, Terry hasn't been the best, father figure. Not like that, but you know what I mean? He's been hanging out with Markeisha more. And I think that's going to be his thing.
Yeah, bro. It's like it's an ongoing theme with that, bro.
It's sad because, like, that Terry's actually trying, and Luanda knows Terry loves her, but at the same time, it's like, bruh, Terry, you need to stop seeing Markeisha 100%. Just stop. Put a ring on Luanda. Something.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like sometimes it's just these dudes don't make the right choice. It's like sometimes I don't know. They I don't know what they be listening to. I don't know what they go by when it comes to choosing a woman. But these guys need to make these guys that are in the game. They need to make better choices. That's all I could say.
No, and there's so many moving pieces for them every day, I guess. But it's just like, bruh, leave Markeisha,
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Markeisha is, she's interesting.
Definitely a homewrecker. A homewrecker. That's what it is. Markeisha is a homewrecker.
Oh, definitely, bro. She's trying to just benefit. She's trying to get what she wants by ruining what Terry and Luanda have. It's kind of devious.
She's ruining the potential of what Terry can get, which is a good marriage and a happy family. Because she knows Terry can do that, but she wants it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's crazy because she was already like not fucking with Terry. Like they were already having issues.
Yeah, because he's a little boy and all that stuff. It's just like, bruh, he's a man. He's got his money. He's taking care of his shit. But
yeah, literally, like every relationship has their issues, but it's like they're already having their issues. But it's like Luanda's just trying to make. She just wants Terry to just. Ever since she sees Terry's more happy without her, I guess she's just still trying to get over him. She's just pissed.
I still think she called CPS.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I still want to know what they're gonna do with that storyline, if they're gonna revisit that CPS storyline. But we still got some unanswered questions.
And then on top of that, the CPS thing hasn't been involved too much in the storyline lately, but we might see it kind of blow back near the end. Who knows? But Charles doing his own thing, Charles trying to win over Lucille. It's kind of letting him know, like, hey, I got a performance going on, the local band, got to see me perform. I'm still trying to put this family back together for the 1,000th time this season. And Charles is really going through the motions.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Charles is really trying to do his thing.
But once that happens, I mean, we talked about this earlier. This scene was kind of funny when Breeze and Nicole are chilling in the car. And it's nice, this little romantic moment, Nicole's like, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend through a note or whatever from Breeze. And then Terry sees them from a distance. Like, hey, yo. Like, he doesn't see him drinking. He just sees him in the car. But, like, when she's like, we're doing homework. And then he just grabs the balls and smashes on the ground. I'm dead. I'm just like, I love comedy moments like this, bruh.
Oh my goodness, no, that was so funny. It's like the way he threw the bottles. It's just the way he was yelling.
Bro, then I love this too. Terry grabbed their keys and chucked it. He didn't want them to drive. And then Nicole's like, so funny. Nicole's like, Terry, how are we gonna get home? And then Terry's like, Nicole, get to Stefan now. He was not having it.
Bro, that was crazy. Yeah, Terry was oof.
He had the audacity. She had the audacity to ask Terry, who came there, to say, how are we gonna get home now? Because he took their keys. I'm like, nigga, he's there to pick you up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, Terry, bro, Terry was definitely on one when it came to Nicole. He does not play about his family, especially his sister.
Yeah, remember he was just talking with Charles when he was giving like that haircut earlier. He was telling him too. He was just like, you and mom have a nice family. The last name under a house and everything. We got to honor that and keep that. They're one of the last families to actually be intact from the hood. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to them, it's a big deal.
No, definitely. He did say that he always respected the way his pops raised them. Like you said, he always respected how they were together for so long. It's the ideal family. That was his image of Lucille and Charles, his mom and dad.
Exactly, and I mean he kind of picked up right on that. Terry's trying to do just that and have a family, and even when Charles kind of vents to Terry, it's like, he's got a doctor, he's got a house and all this stuff. Terry's like, well, money doesn't buy happiness. Charles makes a good point. He's like, well, it helps though. And I'm like, yeah, money does help, unfortunately.
No, definitely, man. People who say that know that money does help, even if they say money doesn't solve anything. In some ways, it does.
No, in most ways it does too. I mean, obviously, money can't revive a loved one, or do this and that, cure cancer and that kind of thing. But money can do a lot of other things that can somewhat override those feelings, And
No, that's
here's the thing: as unfortunate as it is to say, like, I'm not going to name names or anything, but there are people who will lose an immediate loved one. I'm talking immediate. So this is like it could be a brother, sister, husband, wife, father, mother, everything. And they would go on vacation. They would go on vacation, traveling different places. People cope differently, you know what I mean? But they would just go on vacation, travel, eat food, do this luxury type of stuff. And money does cure happiness in a small way. It can make people feel better, divert feelings. So, you're right. Yeah, like money helps a lot.
No, I honestly agree 100% that for the most part, in my opinion and from my experiences, that money that it does solve like most issues. Like you said, like losing a loved one is probably the exception.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, you know, most times than other, most times than others, it's really a thing where it's subjective, to other people, like depending on what the situation is, financially and stuff, but or whatever it is with money. But yeah, I feel like that's usually most people's issues is money.
Yep, money, money, money. And speaking of money, Meech meets up with this mechanic dude to kind of, I guess you could say, pay him money to kind of like fix these nice stash spots in cars. You know how cartels and other drug people would have, like, if the car was sniffed out by a canine, glove compartment, hidden compartment, in the glove compartment, side panels, all that stuff. And they gotta have a fall guy to kind of test whip it. I think he tells Duffy, he's like, you'll get one of these guys to whip it around. Red Dogs pull him over. And when they pull him over, obviously the guy looks innocent, but then one of the Red Dogs busts open the side panel by the driver's side on the door. And fortunately for him, it's Sugar, unfortunately. So, it was, they had to let the guy go, but they kind of test something new, basically. It's kind of a fail thing.
No, definitely. No, that reminds me of season 1 when they went to Duke, when they had to make the stash spot with B Mickey. Remember when Brian found the stash spot in season 1? The
Initially,
gun?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of when they met up with the mechanic. They're back to the stash spots, which is slick, which is smart. You're gonna need those if you're smuggling. You feel me? Especially in their line of work.
Yeah, hey, if it's not broken, don't change it. Don't fix it.
Yep.
Remy just kills Claude. Doesn't like him
Ruthlessly.
kind of plotting with Meech. Doesn't like the idea of being soft, I guess. And you
Yeah.
notice the faces on some of Remy's men. They're just like, oof.
Yeah. Like literally, like he walked in on Claude, like he like trying to putting together a meeting to go behind Remy's back. I didn't expect Remy to react that way. I knew he was gonna get mad, but my goodness,
He
he
had
was
to assert him.
sending.
He had to assert himself.
Yeah, he had to assert himself, and he just, I guess, he was sending a message to Meech and everybody else, to not go behind his back. But that's just gonna make his guys like more fearful of him. That's just gonna make things worse. That's why I think that was the wrong move.
No, it was terrible because at the end of the day, you're just telling your men that you're all disposable, no matter what.
Yeah, no, literally, like that's literally what, like that he's literally saying that I don't give a shit about any of you guys. If any of you guys fuck up like this, you can go. No matter how good you've been to me, no matter how close we are, any small thing, you're out of here. That's pretty much what he's saying to everyone.
And it's like, okay, now we're gonna go to Tetwood and risk our lives.
Man, I honestly thought this guy was gonna like wise up and listen to Meech, but I guess this guy didn't get the memo.
No, he did not. And um, fortunately, it's just one of those things where Techwood gets terrorized with more Red Dogs because they hear about a potential shootout that goes off, and just the neighbors being terrorized and stuff. And Techwood's just, it's just Remy's making it worse, basically, adding more violence.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Techwood is just crazy. It's really crazy. It's like a war zone over there. It's like World War III every time they show scenes of Techwood. It's like wow. It's like I never see anything good like in Techwood.
It's depressing because there are just families actually living there to make them ends meet, type of thing, trying to live somewhere, but they can't.
No, definitely. Every family that's tried making a living out there, especially with kids, it's ended up deadly, or it just hasn't ended well. It's kind of sad. It's a world of sorrows when you think about Techwood.
Yep. And then Henrietta and her uncle. Did you catch his name?
I forgot his name.
Okay, I'm just gonna, yeah, we're just gonna say Blaze's brother or uncle, whatever you want to say, but he basically just gives her money to help her repay her debt. I think it was to her Connect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, no, she was going to pay her Connect, and basically the uncle. this kind of this could be tension between Blaze, because he wasn't in this episode, but down the road, because Uncle's like, just don't tell him I did this for you. It's okay. He's just mistreated you all the time, that kind of thing. And they have a little handshake too. So, Unc and Henrietta go way back. So it's just one of those things where we could see, Henrietta and her uncle versus Blaze and Terry.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that coming. Like, especially with how everything's turning out. Like, I could easily see Blaze and Terry clicking up easily.
Season 4, that could be their mini war. Blaze and Terry versus Henrietta and her uncle. Because with this new introduction, you can't just get rid of Henrietta now as a character.
That's facts. That's facts. Or Blaze. I mean, one of them. You can't take out both of them for sure.
Have the uncle get rid of Blaze, maybe that would be creating interesting story. But I mean, it really can go either way. It's just because when you add a new element like the uncle, Henrietta's got to go then, I guess. But she causes, like I said in the last in the last episode, like I said in the spot, she basically causes a lot of heat with people that watch the show, to the point where if she's a talk of the show, don't remove her. Keep it.
No, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Especially with her, like at this point, I know a lot of people were hating on her character, but at this point, I feel like she's earned her keep, in my opinion. Especially with the trouble she's caused, with how I like the scenes with her and Jin too. Like, I'm like, okay, I like this girl on girl action. It's kind of like it gives Jin, like, it gives me a different look on Jin.
It gives me the point of view of Henrietta also being able to like open up her feelings. You know what I mean? And it's kind of interesting. You're like, I never thought you actually were emotional. I never thought you actually had feelings.
Yeah, and she's getting sprung too. She's sprung by Jin, which is crazy.
It's crazy to think, dude. Honestly, when you say like that's crazy to think that Jin is pulling this off. Like, I think they're gonna save it for the finale when Henrietta finds out, or like the end of next episode.
Yeah, I wonder how Jin's gonna get out of this situation, but I know something explosive is gonna happen with that storyline, bro. There's no way it's gonna just end like with the happy ending.
I can see the police getting involved too, because remember, this is something that involves Blaze at the end of the day. So we'll see how that works out. Honestly, I mean, it is kind of like a question mark right now, just again with Blaze's brother introduced. But hey, see where he goes down the road, right?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I feel like
2 episodes left of the finale till the finale.
Yeah,
or 2 episodes left till the end of the season.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I don't know, man. Hopefully, they make Henry's uncle, Blaze's brother, a factor. If they're really focusing on him. But I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell if he's gonna be a difference maker.
Going forward, we'll see. But Terry has an interesting tax lottery scheme, which it took me a while to pick up on, but then I kind of get it. So basically, if I'm understanding correctly, obviously they have a chain of gas stations through their homie, their homie owns a bunch of gas stations, and say someone turns in a winning lottery ticket, and there's 2 options, instead of having them drive all the way to some place to cash the ticket, they can have someone come in and pay cash for the ticket plus 10% bonus. Is the cash like the reward they pay for the ticket?
I forgot. I think they only get a certain amount of money, right? Because they're getting cash on the spot.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like, let's say someone won 10 G's. Like, it's the winning tickets for 10 G's. Does Terry saying that they'll give him 10 G's cash?
I forgot how much it was, honestly, but I know they give him a certain amount of whatever.
We'll give him cash plus a 10% bonus on top.
Yeah, something like that. I would have to go back to that. I want to say, but I don't want to say. I don't want to be wrong. It
just wouldn't make sense. Why would the only reason you'd want to give him that much money is if you legitimately want to go in and say, "Hey, let's go cash in this ticket." And I guess if you want to build tax credibility, and buy cars and houses and stuff with legit income, sure.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Definitely. Like with that, it's definitely an avenue that those type of people like in their line of work take. It's rich people shit.
No, honestly, and I mean, I I think it's an interesting scheme. I didn't think it was. I don't think it's illegal, is it? Well, buying tickets from people.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but I don't know. It's their system of doing it. I feel like it's a loophole of theirs.
You're using illegal cash to buy. Yeah, yeah. I guess that's what you're doing. Dirty money. You're basically cleaning it through the lottery system.
Yeah, yeah. You're basically yeah. It's a get rich quick scheme that's not legal. I don't think that shit's legal, bro.
Yeah, and as Terry's explaining, well, getting rich isn't illegal, but it's how you do it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
uh,
facts.
Terry and Markeisha, Terry's telling Markeisha about this lottery plan in the bar, and then Vince pulls up again. And like we were saying earlier in this episode, basically they get into like a man alpha battle, try to flex on each other in front of Markeisha, and Terry comes out on top with Markeisha dismissing Vince, basically.
Yeah, no, I was like, whoa. I said the tables have turned, bro. Like, wow. Like, why is her energy just different all of a sudden?
Hey, what can I say? Terry stepped up, bro.
Yeah, I mean Terry he did flex a little bit. I said, okay, Mr. Flannery. That's what I was saying in my mind. And then Markeisha, she was impressed. She was impressed.
Yeah, that was a swag energy right there. And of course, uh, this part was kind of interesting. I mean, I kind of like the message behind it. It's pretty cool. Basically, Meech and gang are chilling in the club, and then like Remy pulls up. Just I mean, the lady delivers an ice bowl, a
That
bowl
was
of ice,
that was
and
crazy.
it's Claude's head just chilling in the bowl. And
Oh,
then Remy and Meech confront each other, and it's just like, holy shit, what a message! Damn,
yeah, Remy's a cold motherfucker, bro.
he did not give a fuck. He just put that motherfucker's head there and said, "Hey, look, that's what you get, for trying to have him go behind my back." And Meech made a good point. I like how it ended on the note, like your men just saw you do this, like they're watching your behavior now, like they know you're slipping, like you done fucked up now.
Yeah. No, definitely. And Meech, he definitely knows. He knows how to point out signs of weaknesses. Like he's been seeing it throughout the game. Like every trial of life. He knows. He knows what it looks like, bro. He knows the smell of success. He knows the smell of failure. So he's no stranger to recognizing that.
And then after the club, Meech goes with two hoes, basically to kind of go bang it out, a threesome, and then someone tries to go kill them, and Meech immediately grabs the dude, and as they're getting in a shootout, they go fist to fist, and Meech grabs him. Then as the
Glock,
guy's running
Glock's,
out, Meech throws
Glock's,
him out the
it's
window.
Glock's right hand, right?
I was thinking that because
It
here's
was.
why. Remember earlier in the show we leaped over this, ladies and gentlemen. But in the car when the Red Dogs are kind of terrorizing Techwood, Glock is in his car speaking in Haitian or whatever. And it's like, we'll meet in Miami, but make sure you gun down Meech, take him down. And Angel's chilling in the car, next to him. So I can only assume that Angel knew where Meech was going based on where the strippers were.
Yeah, and then I forgot they were in the strip club, and then after that, they were at the palace.
Yeah, and he
And
saw Angel hanging out with Glock.
yeah, and then after that, him and his crew were throwing money, and then after that, Glock's crew they got mad and they walked away. So, man, we forgot it. We left that out from earlier.
That
It's
was actually
crazy.
in the beginning too. Yeah, that was very in the beginning, basically. But
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, I think the reason we glossed over was because it was a typical club scene that was basically in every episode. But this one stood out. You're right. It was one of those things where you should have noticed Angel was basically hanging out with Glock at this point. Um, but yeah, I mean, basically, I can only assume that Angel gave away Meech's location. Remember, Meech is asking Duffy like, "How the fuck, you know, would anyone have known where I was?"
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the only. There's only a few Only a few options, you know.
It's the strippers or Angel, bro. I'm telling you, Angel is the only. I think Angel is the only one who could have known because she's friends with the strippers, right? Like, hey, where you guys headed? Oh, we're hanging out with Meech at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, bro. It had to have been, bro. I don't know if it's her though, but only time will tell. But you never know, man. These strippers can be very shisty, especially her. The way she's been moving these last few episodes, bro. I was disappointed. I was like, wow,
She was
Angel.
loyal to Meech.
Yeah, she was. And then we seen her true colors once he left Atlanta. Once he went to St. Louis, that was crazy.
No, I'm sure we'll see more of Angel in season 4. Honestly, she is a very interesting character in the sense of like you don't actually know what she's gonna do.
Yeah, no, she's unpredictable for sure. We did not see that coming.
And I could be skipping anything, but ladies and gentlemen, Brian, the final scene of the show.
Oh, wait, hold on. When Henry Terry he went to Henry's plug to cut her out.
Oh yeah. The offer was so sweet. He was trying to explain to the Connect, like, hey, the reason she's losing money and why she owes you money is because I'm the one outselling her. My product. It's all about quantity, not quality. I can give you a discount but you gotta cut Henrietta off. And
That was
Terry,
crazy.
smart businessman, cut off their supply, their pipeline, bleed them
Yeah,
dry, make them come to you.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Terry, he's handling business in Detroit right now. He is handling business right now. He's looking like a boss, bro. He's looking like the boss he envisioned himself looking like years ago.
Slowly but surely, no, he's getting there with the Connect. Remember, they didn't agree outright. They said it's an interesting offer for now, so we'll see.
Yeah,
You know,
no, definitely. And then, as you were saying,
yeah, no. Back to Brian, the final scene of the show, like the episode. Brian he's in the car and he's lit. He sees the Henrietta's right hand man, the guy we've seen in every episode, basically. And he just beats the fuck out of him, relentlessly. Is it to death?
I think to death. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
It looked like he gave him a slave beatdown, bro. A slave beatdown. You know, which means he ain't getting back up.
Yeah, no,
Never.
no, that's the wrath of a man who lost his son, or a man who he feels has lost everything. Someone he couldn't protect. And
Yeah,
I don't know, if you look back at Brian's son's story, like Kevin's story, like him being bullied and getting the gun and shooting the kid and all that stuff, like it's just terrible. It really is.
yeah, that was one of the saddest stories like I've seen in any series. That was to me, whew, it made me feel some sort of way as well. So I hope Brian gets some sort of closure for his son somehow, some way. You know, by the end of the season.
He has to. I'm sure everyone was rooting for Brian's son to get out, you know?
Yeah, man.
Like,
Ke- Ke-
it's frustrating because he didn't get any bail, nothing. Like, we don't know the system at the time, but I actually assume Brian being a cop and all kind of helped him in a way, gave him some sway, you know, bail hearing, something like that. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that kid deserved way better, for sure. Sucks.
And Henrietta did him dirty.
Oh yeah, yeah. Brian is definitely looking to close the deal. Him and Jen, Jen, she's trying to get her revenge for her partner Amberson. So you already know they are on a mission to create violence, bro. That's the thing that's why I don't think that storyline's gonna end well, is because Jen and Bryant, their intention is not to bring down the bad guys. Their intention is to take down and destroy the bad guys. Like that's their intention now.
Yeah, at this point, they're just out for blood. You know, that's all it is at this point, because they both lost loved ones to Henrietta and Blaze and stuff. I mean, to be fair, Brian wants to go for Henrietta. Jin wants to go for Blaze, which I can understand
Yeah.
because he's the lead of all this. But you're right. There's no justice seeking. They just want to do their own street justice.
Yeah, literally. And we saw Jin, she tried to go to her boss with all this information, but he shut her down. He suspended her, so he literally left her with no choice. So she had no choice but to team up with Bryant. She sees now that what he's doing is necessary, you know? It's the only way that it's really the only way they could do it.
No, honestly, and like I said, Brian's had a great character development over this past season in terms of like, actually progressing as a good guy, someone we root for.
Likable, for sure. Likable 100%.
I don't want to say relatable because I don't have a kid.
Oh,
but,
likable.
Well, I want to say relatable because
relatable.
He's doing things that I'm sure, if we were in his situation, he would have done. We would have done.
Yeah, relatable. Relatable is the perfect word for it. You're right.
Because I think everyone at the end of the day has a little Brian in him, where like you'll do anything to get your son out of jail, prison, especially with the charge he's facing. So just one of those things.
Everything was out of desperation. That's correct. 100%. You're right. That makes sense.
No, when it comes down to it, also, Meech, his expansion plan is going great. Charles, he's got his little arc to develop. I think you told me before season 3 started, the hint was like Charles goes through his ups and downs and trials and tribulations and stuff. And yeah, he's definitely doing it. He's dealing with Dr. Maurice.
Oh yeah, he's dealing with that little competition of his, but he thinks he's up for the challenge. So we gonna see if he could rise up.
Oh man, and he definitely can. I believe he can rise up and overcome all this BS.
Yeah, win back his wife.
Oh man, now, they're not legally divorced, are they?
Not yet. I don't think so.
Okay, I wouldn't think so. That's why.
Yeah, not at this point. Not yet. At least.
It'll happen soon.
Yeah, maybe. I think so, but we'll see.
Well, that does wrap up the BMF Season 3, Episode 8 discussion. Again, Episode 9 and 10 are just on the way and around the corner. I'm so excited. Anything you want to add?
Shoot, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm excited as well. We got those future episodes coming around the corner.
We're gonna do I'm thinking we should definitely do a Bel Air. Definitely do the Bel Air one too. It's coming. It's coming this week. It's coming this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Or any suggestions you guys have, just let me and my guy know.
Yeet yeet. Of course, that's all. I'm out here, Yeezy Yon and Mighty Young. Peace.
Yep. Peace out.